안녕하세요, 친절한 여러분. 여러분과 여러분이 사랑하는 이들에게 천국의 축복을 기원합니다. 저는 한국 순천의 이용철입니다. 한국인들은 여러분의 마음과 삶에 조화로운 평화가 깃들기를 바랍니다. 지구를 사랑하는 여러분께서 잘 아시다시피 우유를 위해 소를 키우는 것은 지속 가능한 방식이 아니며 물, 토지, 식량과 같은 막대한 양의 자원들을 필요로 합니다. 모든 낙농산업의 가장 어두운 면은 수억 마리의 소들이 강제로 임신하고 새끼를 낳으며 그 새끼를 잃고 고통을 겪는 반복적인 학대를 당하고 있다는 사실입니다. 다행히도 요즘은 시장에서 많은 식물 기반의 유제품들이 계속해서 출시되고 있습니다. 소비자들은 콩, 귀리, 쌀, 견과류, 씨앗류로 만든 맛있고 영양가 있으며 잔인함 없는 많은 비동물성 유제품을 선택할 수 있습니다. 치즈와 우유, 이들 대체제에 대한 미래가 시작되고 있습니다. 그리고 이 혁명의 시작에는 합성생물학이 있는데요. 선구적인 스타트업인 퍼펙트데이는 미국 캘리포니아의 샌프란시스코에 본사를 두고 효모에서 유래한 유제품을 개발하고 있습니다. 2014년 창립된 퍼펙트데이는 원래 무풀이라 불렸으며 젖수 없는 우유 만들기 팀을 조직한 라이언 판디아 씨와 페루말 간디 씨가 이끌고 있습니다.
Hello everybody, I'm Permal. And I'm Ryan. We're the founders of Perfect Day, and we're excited to share our story with you today. We both grew up eating real meat and dairy products, enjoying their delicious, indulgent taste. These tastes are deeply ingrained in our memories. But as we got older, we started to develop an awareness of the big picture. We started to learn about global climate change and ask questions about how our lifestyle might be contributing to the problems. Eventually, we came to learn that our diet in particular was having a greater impact than we might have wanted. And so, around the beginning of college, we both decided to go vegetarian. Now, this wasn't terribly difficult. We basically replaced all the meat we were eating with eggs and dairy. But eventually, our commitment to the big picture led us to realize that eggs and dairy are part of the very same problematic system as meat. And so, a few years later, we made the transition to being fully vegan.
That single decision completely changed our relationship with food.
We started by taking a step back and looking at how the food system works today for animal products. And when you do that, you quickly realize two things.
The first is that animal agriculture is extremely inefficient. The way we produce animal protein today is posing a huge challenge to the environment. I'm not going to give you the numbers, you can easily look those up. But know that animal agriculture is posing a grave threat to our planet as it is. Why? Because there are 70 billion land animals today, but they feed only 7 billion people. It's crazy. The natural resources like water and land that are required to produce these products at scale are becoming more and more scarce day by day. But the demand is only growing.
And that brings us to the second troubling trend. You see, it's hard enough to produce sufficient animal protein to meet the demand of today. What about tomorrow? Despite a growing awareness of these challenges, we find that demand for animal protein is still only increasing all over the world. And as you probably heard 100 times today, the world population is expected to surpass 9.5 billion by 2050. Interesting to me is that many of these new people are going to be in developing economies, where as a larger and wealthier middle class emerges, typically one of the first things that these empowered new consumers start to spend their money on is animal protein. If you combine these two factors, you have a perfect storm. Not only do we need to produce far more protein, but we have to do so in a way that is fundamentally less damaging than what we do today. That's ultimately why we've set out to support the evolution of our food system as a whole by creating a more secure, environmentally friendly, and nutritious source of protein.
Without the use of a single animal in the entire process.
퍼펙트 데이의 창립과 비동물성 유제품에 대해 더 알아보겠습니다.
Okay, so how do you make animal protein without animals? I remember I had that exact question in my mind one day at work back in 2014. At the time, I was developing antibodies and other medicines using the tools of biotechnology. And I had this sort of aha light bulb moment when I realized that the antibodies I was making already were animal proteins made without animals, which led to the question, could this very same technology be used to make high-quality protein for the food industry that wouldn't have these kind of impacts on the environment and on animals and all these other different things? That's ultimately, when I met Parimal in 2014, what surprised me so much about us is that he had come to the exact same realization through his work in biomedicine. And that's why we teamed up and joined forces to start Perfect Day. We had recognized an untapped opportunity to create protein using these technologies.
The key is fermentation. Fermentation is the art and science of just converting nutrients from one form into the other. We've created a type of yeast that converts sugar into milk protein. That is the key to our technology and our entire platform. The cool thing is, we're taking sugar, something that the world is pretty good at producing, and we're converting it into high-quality, nutritious protein that the world is demanding. We've designed our process to fit into existing infrastructure that's found all over the globe, and we're working with the industry to scale up, and we will be out there in a big way pretty soon.
여기서 특히 돋보이는 점은 퍼펙트 데이는 유제품에 대한 대체제를 만들지 않는다는 겁니다. 대신에 그들은 우유를 생산하고 있지요. 이는 최종 생산물을 치즈나 요구르트 같은 다른 유제품을 만드는데 사용할 수 있다는 뜻입니다. 퍼펙트 데이의 공동 설립자 이시아 다타르 씨는 다음과 같이 설명합니다.
Because milk is not, there's no living material in it. Milk is just a few proteins and fats. There's no living cells in it. So if you can just produce those proteins and fats without a cow, then you've produced milk without a cow. This isn't a milk alternative. This is just milk. So you should be able to use it to make yogurt and cheese and everything else that you normally make out of milk without any, new ingredients. Right now, a lot of vegan cheeses are made with nuts, which is a problem for people with nut allergies, I suppose. So what we really want to do is produce that vegan cheese that's completely the same as cow's milk cheese, except it just had nothing to do with the cow.
지난해 퍼펙트 데이는 미국에 본사를 둔 세계적인 식품 가공회사인 아처 데니얼스 니들랜드와 비동물성 유제품의 상업화와 개발을 위해 제의를 맺었습니다. 세계는 변하고 있으며 이와 함께 식량 체계도 변화와 진화를 거치고 있습니다. 라이언 판디아 씨와 페르말 간디 씨의 퍼펙트 데이는 분명히 낙농 분야의 발전을 이끌고 있습니다. 여러분의 혁신적인 발전에 진심으로 감사하며 곧 시장에서 제품이 판매되기를 기대합니다. 퍼펙트 데이에 대한 더 자세한 정보는 다음을 방문하세요. www.perfectdayfoods.com 다정한 시청자 여러분, 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다.